Welcome to the Legacy Podcast, making our Sustainable Development Goals (SDGs) more famous for action. Sustainable Development Goals (SDGs) are not political paperwork. They are the nutrients for a healthy you and our society at large. Today, we need to have a real talk, a heart-to-heart at the dinner table kind of talk. I am your host, United Nations Mom, and I'm so glad you are here today. Today's legacy would be to open your heart to reasons our Sustainable Development Goals (SDGs) are just as important as the food you eat. I hear some say, why are you always talking about these 17 goals? We have real problems, we need to eat, we need to survive. What are you even talking about? And I look them right in the eye and say, the SDGs are just as important as the food you put in your mouth. In fact, without these goals, your plate is going to end up empty. You think I'm being dramatic? Okay, today, since you are part of the Legacy Podcast listening today, we are going to look into it. Think about it. Why do you eat for strength, you eat for growth, and you eat to survive? Well, listen to me loudly now. Goal 2 is literally zero hunger. You can't eat if the soil is dead. You can't eat if the supply chains are broken by war, nations fighting against another, or lack of collaboration or partnership between nations. I have this, you give me this, stuff like that. When we fight for the SDGs, we are fighting for the physical food you put on your table each day. Goal 6 is clean water. You can have the best meal in the world, you can travel all over the world, eat the best food you can, but if you don't have clean water to wash it down, to digest it, or to even cook those food, your meal becomes a poison, dangerous to your system, harmful to you. Imagine when you just finish taking a plate of meal and the next thing you are vomiting or you're feeling so irritated, like where all the sweetness that you felt while eating that food has gone. Next thing you're seeing yourself in hospital bed and the whole glory of fun of eating the food. In fact, you start to regret about the food you eat. If we don't have um if you don't have clean water to cook those food or even digest the food that you're eating, it's going to become dangerous. Goal 13, that is climate action. If the rain doesn't fall when it's supposed to, or the heat burns the crops in your field, it doesn't matter how hard you work, you will go hungry. I say this with all the respect in my heart for the ancestors who came before us and the children coming after us. We cannot live on bread alone. If you eat today but you have no justice, go 16 tomorrow, or you have no justice today, that food, the food you're eating will taste like ashes because you're living in fear. If you eat today but your sons and daughters have no education, go for, they will go hungry tomorrow because they have not been given the tools to feed themselves. So you and I need to stop looking at these goals like they are some extra thing we do when we don't have time. No, they are the soil, the crop, salt, the pepper, and the protein of a civilization that actually works. One of the most wonderful things I find so interesting about the SDGs is that actually the SDGs are not actually these 17 Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs in quotes, are not the first global goals, but the SDGs was the first time the entire world agreed on a single comprehensive to-do list that treats poverty, inequality, climate change as interconnected issues that is affecting us all rather than separate problems. Oh, this nation will say this problem is affecting you, it's not affecting me, please go your way. We don't need you. Or this person will say it's affecting you, it's not affecting you. This company or organization, everybody will personalize their problems and be like, we're on our own. But the SDGs is the first time on a global scale, on a global platform, the nations, leaders of our nations of the world. If you listen to Legacy One, I said there are about 195 nations in the world today. 193 are member states of the United Nations, and these whole 193 nations agreed, came together to agree on this goal. Let me give you a little picture of what I'm trying to say. Just imagine how hard, or maybe on a personal experience, how hard it is to get people together to agree. Both people that are close to you, even your family members, your friends in school, your colleagues at work. Sometimes how hard it can be to put them all together in one table or put them on a call, on a chat, for them to agree to one decision or for us to come to a conclusion. Now, this is exactly what happened that produced the Sustainable Development Goals. 193 nations, leaders came together and said, this is our agreement. This is what we want for our people at large, irrespective of religion, irrespective of race, ethics, background. Agreement. Is this not wonderful? So the SDGs was the first time on a global scale, on a global platform, we have all nations agreeing together to one decision that this is what we are going to make to do to make the people and the planet better, prosperous, and comfortable. So these goals actually need to be taken as serious as it is. And this is why the Legacy podcast is here for you to move these goals from global world that scares you to the personal you, to show you the actions you need to take, to make you gain the knowledge you need to realize, to understand that these goals are just as important as the food is. Moving on, goal 7, affordable and clean energy. Listen to me, we are in 2026 and it is a crying shame if a child has to study by dangerous with a dangerous kerosene lamp, or if a mother has to cook over a fire that harms her lungs through the smoke. Goal 7 is the fire of today and for the future. It's about catching the sun and the wind. It's about energy that is affordable, meaning it doesn't take the food out of your mouth just to keep the lights on and clean, meaning it doesn't choke the planet. We need power that builds, not power that burns. In your room, the light bulb, you can choose to control it on and off, and you can even choose to buy a one that shines higher or one that shines lower. Do you see the kind of peace that actually gives you? Rather than when you empty something like lantern or lamp, you put it on, and instead of you to calmly enjoy why the light is on, like the reason why you're using the light, maybe for studying or for cooking or whatever, you are feeling both heat, the discomfort. I'm sure back in the days, almost everyone experienced that, and even our ancestors. Will you look back at the days of our ancestors and say, oh, No, those days are better. Let's just live like that. Forget about the light bulb, the clean energy that we are producing now, affordable and clean for that matter that we are producing now. Let's just keep on using the firewood for cooking. Let's choke in the smoke. That is so much better for me. I'm sure literally no one can say that. So this is why goal 7 is actually so important. Affordable and clean energy. Refining our energy to make sure that whatever we are using it for, whether in cars, whether in our homes, whether in our workplace, just whatever, or for manufacturing, whatever we are using it for is safe. It doesn't have to harm us to make us produce better things. No. Goal 8, decent work and economic growth. I'm talking about dignity now. Goal 8 is not about having a job, just about that where you are treated like a machine. No, it's about decent work. That means a safe environment for you, a fair wage that can actually pay your rent, and a seat at the table where you belong. Everybody wants to feel that they belong to some great place. Nobody wants to feel that they are less of where they are, especially if that place is a very great environment. So we want growth, yes, but not growth that leaves you as a worker behind in the dust. If the economy is growing but the people are starving, that is not progress, it's crisis. We need growth with a soul. As the economy is growing, you as a soul, you are growing, you are evolving, you are comfortable. So decent work is very, very important. Where you have a safe place, you make cool cash without problem, without trouble, and without even inequality. So goal 9, industry innovation and infrastructure. These are the bones of the world. You can't get your goods to the market if the roads are washed away by erosion, water, or so many sorts of that most of us, all of us, we were during our school days, whether junior or high school days. You cannot join the global conversation if the internet is a luxury for the rich, was only made for rich people, people that have so much money or money. Goal 9, industry innovation and infrastructure is the bridge to tomorrow. We need innovation that solves our problems equally, not just fancy gadgets, but tools that can help us build stronger, connect faster, farm better. It's about a kitchen that can handle the feasts we are preparing for, not only for the 20, 30 designated time these goals are supposed to be achieved, but also for our future generations. So goal 9, industry innovation and infrastructure is very important. They are very important. They are the bridge to tomorrow. If you have a very large ocean and let me say at this point there's a bridge over the ocean and you look and you tell yourself, oh, I'm not going to follow through that bridge. Okay, you don't follow through that bridge, but if you look around, there are no other options for you. No boats, no canoes, not even a magician that will order you to fly and you start flying and before you know it, you're over to the other side of the ocean. You have no choice, you have no option but to follow that bridge and cross your path at the end of the day, unless you want to drown. So industry innovation and infrastructure is the bridge in this scenario, literally. We cannot walk through, pass through, do all our hard works, and at the end of the day, we are not. advanced. We are not um at the end of the day, there's no easier way for us to push through those hard works that we have made. Imagine in the olden times, times of our ancestors, they do, I think they write letters, but how do they send those letters? They have to travel far. Now imagine maybe through postal office, and maybe there's no even nearest postal office to your place. But let's even forget about that. The fact that they have to travel far, go through all the stress and wait days or months for their message to go through and for the person to also reply back to them is so uh, it's so somehow. But these days now you have a mobile phones, laptop, tab. You can just, oh, I want to get across to my mama now or my daddy, and I'm missing them so much. Pim pim, you just text them, and right away they receive the message. If it's looking like they are finding it hard to reply or taking too long, you call them immediately. So this is what industry innovation and infrastructure is all about. Is the bridge for building is or just all about building stronger um, connection that can make both the people and the planet much better. Now we are traveling to space. We know a lot more of our galaxy and space elements and planets more than we know many years ago. I'm sure you will see that a lot in the movies that you watch. So you cannot deny now that these goals are so much important. Goal 10, reduce inequalities. This one makes my voice rise. Goal 10 is a big equalizer. Look around. The gap between the richest and the poorest is stretching. Do we have to wait until it snaps? We see it between countries and even right to your own neighborhood. We see it. This goal 10, reduce inequality, says enough is enough. It's about making sure that your postal code, that's the country you live in, or the color of the country you are from or you live in, or the color of your skin doesn't determine your destiny. We are leveling the ground so that when we say prosperity for all, we actually mean all, not just for the lucky few at the top. So this is what reduced inequality is about. We when we advocate for good things, or if you are once you want to start advocating for good and reduce inequalities, you are literally saying that the religion, country, ethics, or whatever color of skin or whoever someone is should not stop them from benefiting from another, should not change the whole course of their destiny or the path they actually want to follow or is good for them to follow. So we are saying that everybody deserves equal chance and equal opportunity, equal same technology, same innovation, same everything. That is why these goals are not just for government, they are for you to take up and start working towards one or two. When you start working towards one or two, your community, your small surrounding around you could be changed. Imagine when you are advocating for zero hunger in your village and you identify from the village where you are from, or maybe in a city where you live in, you identify a part that is not well developed. Then you start advocating for the development of that place under any of the goals, maybe industry, innovation, and infrastructure, or no poverty or zero hunger, or sustainable cities and communities, or affordable energy. You just start looking for one or two problems to solve in that community. Do you know how much change you will bring that even the governments far away are not seeing or can't reach just like that? That is why the United Nations, when they made these goals, they actually ended with goal 17, partnership for the goal. We cannot do it alone as a United Nations. We need you, the everyday person who sees what we can see, who knows what we cannot know from the far away that we are. So stand up in your community, in your nation, and say, this is what I see as problem, this is the solution. So you see, advocating for the Earth Sustainable Development Goals and working towards it, that's your action, is not a foolish thing. It's a thing of wisdom, actually, great wisdom. And you can never know the amount of peace, the amount of sustainable legacy you're going to create for yourself. And not only for yourself, for the people around you. Goal 11, sustainable cities and communities. Most of us are living on top of each other in big cities now, but are they living? Goal 11 is about making our cities breathe again. It's about affordable housing so nobody is sleeping on the streets. It's about green spaces where children can run without breathing in poison. It's about being sustainable, meaning build cities that don't collapse under their own weight, but instead support the life within them like a strong foundation. You don't want to stay in a house and you are so scared every moment that this house is going to fall. Something so weird is going to happen. Maybe collapse, or you feel that the foundation was not too strong, or you feel that water is, how will I say it now? Maybe in the walls you're seeing water is leaking from where it's not supposed to be leaking from, and you feel that this house was not built well. They just built it anyhow. No, we don't want stuff like that. So sustainable cities and communities also mean that we don't, there are so many companies manufacturing so many organizations ensure that the waste of those products they are manufacturing, or the whole process, or whatever, both the chemicals they use and everything, don't go into the air that we breathe or the water that we take. So this is what sustainable cities and communities is all about and much more. Goal 12, responsible consumption and production. This, I would say, is a waste not, want not rule. You are living in a world that acts like it has three planets to use up, but we have only one. We treat our planet sometimes like once we move out of here, we have another place where we can just easily switch. Maybe let me say, for example, we switch from planet Earth to planet Mercury or whatever planet. Like it's so easy for us to move. No, we have just one planet to protect. Goal 12, responsible consumption and production, is about the circle of life. If we make it, we must be responsible for it. If we are making something, producing something, you must be responsible for what you are producing, the way that comes out of it, and the impact or effect it has on other people. Let's stop the disposable culture. Your grandchildren's face. It's as simple as that. So we need to be satisfied with what, take enough that we need to survive, and also whatever we are making or we are producing, we have to be responsible for how it affects others. You cannot decide to set up a drug or medicine manufacturing company and you don't look into the materials you're using to produce those medicines so well. You don't research so well, you don't use the latest technology, you just do it anyhow. We see so many of that, sorry to say, in most African countries where they produce whatever, however they like. Or what do they call this? When someone copies another product, a product, a product that is not his own, and go and make the fakes of it or the likes of it. And also in other developing companies, we need to make sure that companies are manufacturing whatever they're manufacturing with latest technology or with latest ingredients, that those ingredients are not harmful to your human body. I'm not sure you will intentionally want to take what is harmful to your body. Unless that's an addiction and it's a totally different problem on its own. So responsible consumption and production under Goal 12, which is Goal 12, is saying that we need to protect how we produce what we consume and be responsible for whatever outcome it's whether good or bad it's it produces. Goal 14, life below water. Don't forget the deep blue sea. The ocean is not a trash can for our plastics. It is the lungs of the earth and the provider for millions. Goal 14 is about respecting the life that swims beneath us. If the fish die, if the circle breaks, if the coral reefs bleach away, the protection of our coast vanishes. We need to treat the sea with the same reverence we treat the soil, because a healthy ocean can also mean a healthy human race. A healthy ocean can also mean a healthy and a comfortable human race. Imagine when you're living comfortable in your cities and one day you're passing through an ocean, you're passing through a sea, and it doesn't look so good. Maybe you see most of the creatures are hanging on top of the water, they are all dead. How will you feel? Most of us now take animals for pets and we treat them like the same way we with human feelings, the same way we treat others. So loving, so caring. Do you think seeing that scenario would actually make you sleep, like give you sleep all through the night? You'll be restless, you'll be sleepless. If you go to work, you'll be thinking about it all day, wondering what is happening. So we need to protect the life below water so that not only will it provide healthy food for us, some of us here we prefer fish to beef or to even to chicken or all those ocean creatures. It's very rampant in the Asian countries where they eat a lot of things. Some of us prefer some of these ocean creatures to eating even land creatures. So it's about protecting it so that even if you don't want to eat it, others can eat it. Others can make use of it. So because you may not be interested in seafood or wherever, doesn't mean that you should neglect it completely. Or wherever you're crossing a sea or an ocean or even a river, you throw whatever you want inside it and be like, oh, it's just a river, it's going to swim away. No, that thing you are throwing is affecting one life under the ocean because it is not the food they eat. It's even much better if you go and research on the food they eat and throw it into the ocean and let them catch on with it than be passing through and be throwing whatever you like inside that is going to be harmful to them. If you wake up one day and the farmers say there's no fish in the sea, all of them will die. What will you do? So please let us take care of our life below water, or the life below water, our creatures in there. Goal 15, life on land. This is our backyard, our forest, our sacred mountains. Goal 15 is about stopping the data from swallowing our farms. It's about protecting the animals that keep the ecosystem in balance. We must be guardians of the land we stand on, not the looters of it. Now, let's look at goal 17, partnerships. There is the big amen at the end of the prayer. Goal 17. You see all these 16 goals, they are impossible if you stay in your little corners Goal 17 is the United Nations calling everyone, you, me, businesses, organizations, both governmental and non-governmental, from the north, south, east, west, every nation of the world, the government, the people, the billionaire, the farmer, the millionaire. We need partnerships. We need to share the technology, share the wealth, and share the burden. We win together or we lose together. There is no middle ground. It's as simple as this. So partnership for the goal invites both you and me to work together to make the environment, the community we live in, nation prosperous, better, peaceful, and more comfortable. And this is one of the reasons the Legacy Podcast is here for you. It's because of this partnership for the goal. It's us taking the message of the United Nations or the SDGs personally and saying that we are the ones to make this happen. How do we make it happen? We want to give out people both the knowledge and action. Show you the actions to take and make you want to take that action. Convince you enough to open your heart and to be disciplined enough to say that I will be part of this better future that is going to be created. If everybody relax, we are all going to be swallowed up at the same time. But if everybody works together, we all live peacefully, comfortably, prosperous. So you see this goal, life on land, partnerships for the goal, life below water, responsible consumption and production, sustainable cities and communities, reduced inequalities, industry, innovation and infrastructure, decent work and economic growth, affordable and clean energy, climate action, clean water, gender equality, justice, peace, justice and strong institutions, zero hunger, no poverty. These goals and these sustainable development goals, SDGs, are not just goals. They are a platform for global opportunity, a framework where you, young and growing, whether you're young, old, can connect and align your visions and your dreams. Yes, if you're so much passionate about something and you say this is all I want to life, this is what I want to do. Should I tell you something? Whatever you're passionate about, look through these goals. You will see that it is under it. That your passion is part of these goals. It's either that your passion aligns with life on land or it aligns with life below water or it aligns with zero hunger or it aligns with no poverty that everybody literally wants to make money, um just live in a very comfortable house, home, or it aligns with affordable and clean energy or decent work and economic growth. Whatever your passion is about, it is one of the SDGs. That's why the Sustainable Development Goals, the Legacy Podcast is here to make you understand and realize that your passions are not out of line with the Sustainable Development Goals. They are in line with it. And the the earlier you know, the earlier you work better, the greater the faster you are to achieving those your passions. And by the time you achieve those your passions, you realize that it's not only helped or affected you in a good way, it has helped so many other people. What is life without help to others or doing unto others what we want for ourselves? So these are not just about the goals themselves, but about how they can open opportunities for you or open or lead you on to achieve your passions. These opportunities can even be regional or international opportunities and give you visibility to grow in your area of passion or interest. Personally, I always try to have, educate people about these goals. Anytime I see someone with a new idea or startup, I ask them, do you know about the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs? Are you advocating for any of them? Most, if not all, the answers are either no or no, but I haven't aligned my work to it. If you ask them why, they feel that, first of all, for people that know, they feel that, what's that? I thought it's for government, or what is happening there. I literally don't know about that. So this what I was going through times without number, and it came to my heart that this is actually a real time problem that people are going through. First of all, most people don't know about this. Secondly, people that know don't see a reason to work towards it. They feel that it's just something that nations came together, government houses came together and say, oh, this is what we're going to do. Leave it all on their head. Like, it's for government, it's not for everyday people. The Legacy podcast is here to make you realize that these goals are for you. In fact, it's making you realize the big part you are playing that you may not know. When, example, a farmer that is farming and is feeding his or her community is a big part of achieving the zero hunger. Is a big part of achieving that zero hunger, decent work, or economic growth, because it's actually employing people that are taking of a fellow farmers, taking care of their families at home with the money they are earning. People are, in fact, the everyday people sometimes they're a big part of this group, but they don't know it. Now, imagine when you know that you're a big part, a part of a global progress. Won't you be eager to work harder more to not only make sure that your passion or that your hard work stays unseen local place, so to say, but also comes up globally and helps a lot more people. So these goals, you should know that it's for you. It is for you. It is not just for government. It is for you. In fact, you'll be doing yourself a very great big favor deal to, you know, the word that we use in this generation is packaging. Packaging. Packaging or branding. The new oil money. It's the new oil money. If you have a very good product and you don't package it well, or advertise it, or a very good idea, and you don't present it well, you are likely to either make people not understand what you're saying or lose the whole benefit or profit of it. And another person may steal that idea from you and go and rebrand it, repack it, and you see how the whole world will rush it or the people around will rush it. So these goals are making you realize that you can actually package your work well or your passion so well that it not only helps you but also helps others on a regional scale, on a local scale, or a global standard. And this is why I start to explain to people and encouraging them, making our sustainable development goals more famous for action. This has become a mantra because even the small one-on-one education matters a lot. Honestly, I think the way Coca-Cola is known in every household, that is how these goals should be known too, but they are not, and that is a problem. And this is a problem the Legacy Podcast is here to solve. The United Nations is the only organization that brings almost all nations together. How wonderful. So if these goals are carried by such a global body, then truly they deserve more visibility, more awareness, and more action than what we are seeing today. And the best part is this, you can be aligned with the SDGs no matter your industry, your work, or your passion. There is always a goal you can connect with. You can listen to Legacy 1 where I introduce each goal from 1 to 17 and hear for yourself. So today I want you, and from today onwards, I want you to treat this goal with the same respect you treat your daily bread. You wouldn't throw your dinner away in the trash. So don't throw the future of the planet or your generation in the trash. When you advocate for equality, you are cooking a better future. When you protect your local environment, you are planting for next generation. You need the SDGs to survive just as much as you need your breakfast. And this is on period. I am United Nations man. I am loud about this sustainable development goals, SDGs, because I love you and I'm passionate about your survival, in other words. And I'm respectful because I know that when you realize how much you need it to, that's when your real action starts, your real legacy starts. So stay tuned to the Legacy Podcast TLP so you can know how you can create your sustainable legacy.